kwa baba CMGH TV kasi eboso ebraso se kasi boy ensa kanya bobo anu na asomufu asom no ye de beso mo se CMGH TV kasi ebo midin ede preslamo na me ka wo se kasi ebo no eye enkechi health center any endpoint homeopathy clinic omo no mo si agongon an ye de kasi ebo yi ebrew afi no ye nhwe de bedi kasi ebo yi mu akotene eye Nigeria mampani Mahama Buhari ede apostle de kasi abo eye mampani nana adodankwa akufo se wotimi edi nkunim ewo abatwa etwemu abatwa commission no so ede abetu bia enkofo dodo a musafata na mobetsina mahyebeju eye omampani dada John Dramani Mahama ono so de abetu bia so no osine bo senya de a obeje Electoral Commission na abatwa commission no wo results no atum se nana adodankwa akufo do eye president elect when in sembebre yaka bom ya bobo anu apolish ho ashine ho no ene ya de beso mo se CMGH TV kasebo afi no yen hwe kasebo ni mu entremu Nigerian president anase Nigeria mampani eye Muhammadu Buhari ede abasobode kese asom eye na adodankwa akofo ado se wotumi adi nkunima na wasi akan ewo eye election anase abatuo ekoso enano 7th December when ochemu se ache se emom democracy no eruliye pa na asumjia ekoso ana etodin ewo Ghana na ache se democracy adia gasomu ye pa abatuo commission eye Madam Jane Mensah na eda no ode abetu dwa se eye number of people la omobetna parliament no watna se asihwem ehu akwality ni na ede abetu abonten se eye MPP for no 137 NDC 136 independent candidates one and also outstanding no and was Senate West which one hono omo results and said and enyam bedu ye and ono so for one wemo and about commission no HSA omo no medi anim amatna se omashyemra amaye ewo mrahye bedwem mampani dada John Dramani Mahama endran so say na say ya election no mentime ho ase kakra aba no de atudwa womra ono oye press briefing on name amanyoku NDC the National Democratic Congress no ochimo ho se ono de nya dia waja tum se eye nana adodankwa akufado emedi yeso se ye mampani ewo Ghana.
When in 2016 at the end of my first full term as president I ran for re-election as an incumbent candidate, I respected the will of the people. I conceded, I stepped aside, and I set in motion a peaceful transfer of power because I understood that it was the will of the people. And if we are to progress as a nation, if we are to live up to the inheritance of our history, one for which people have paid the ultimate price, the sacred verdict of the people must be respected. It must be protected. It has been my pledge throughout my time of service as a representative to the good people of Ghana to do exactly that. And that is why I stand before you tonight unwilling to accept the fictionalized results of a flawed election. My brothers and sisters, it is important to remember that the government that is in power controls all of the state resources and oversees all of the state's institutions. The line he treads between his loyalty to the power that is held by the people and by his own desire to hold on to power can be a very thin one indeed. We went into the 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections with assurances from the Electoral Commission and the relevant state actors that it will be conducted in an atmosphere free from fear and that it will be fair, transparent, and credible. Unfortunately, that has not been the case. What we witnessed across the country from Monday, 7th December 2020, exposed a deliberate plan to manipulate and predetermine the results of the election in favor of the incumbent candidate, Nana Akufo-Addo, who, as so happens, controls all of the state resources and oversees the state institutions. Despite all of the ruling party's inducements use of monetary enticements, and other such schemes on a scale never before seen in the history of this country, the good people of this country understood what was at stake. And it was clear, as the results of the votes that were legally cast, that the National Democratic Congress won the presidential and parliamentary elections. No amount of trickery, sleight of hand, or obfuscation will erase that reality. I'm extremely proud of our parliamentary candidates who have earned for themselves the title of giant elephant killers. We went into the parliamentary elections with a deficit of 63 seats. We made up for our 2016 losses, and we're now set to become the majority in Parliament. This historic feat, after only one term, demonstrates the strength of our great party and the strength of the mandate given to us by the good people of Ghana to lead. In respect of the presidential elections, the facts and figures available to us from pink sheets and other evidence that has unfolded across the country indicate that numerous steps have been taken to manipulate the results of the election in favor of the incumbent. This calls into question the credibility of one of our most important institutional pillars of democracy, the Electoral Commission. It is now obvious to many objective minds that the Commission and its chairperson have been used to manipulate results from the various constituencies, and in that process seek to subvert the sovereign will of the Ghanaian people.
Recommendable and I say abatua edimuye basabasa ye bia ansi na de si ene krampo no na ye kakwa betumi so ano se ebe escalate and I say ebe ye bibi basa no mu twemu a ya ye ama democracy no aye fe aye de asumje aba omo se Ghana no yete ho na yete bibia so na omo akyemu na omo ka se eye amayeko bi wo ha ye from codec omo so ka se omo abaso no kwaso united so omo na ye yomo si wa omo monitor ewo amanone no mo de kiremu a figures and I say numbers omo nya ye ewo abato ni mu no pepepe ti say the madam je mensa ene na abato commission no e de betu udwa.
Just to reiterate, if you follow, for example, what the Joint African Union and ECOWAS mission said of our elections, they mentioned that, among other things, they commend Ghana for the peaceful conduct of the 7 December 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections. It's in line with Ghana's enviable track record of organizing peaceful and successful elections since the return to multi-party democracy. If you pay attention to the European Union Election Observer Mission preliminary statement that they issued, they also have a lot of commendation for the people of Ghana and the successful conduct of the election. I think earlier today as well, Codeo addressed all of you and also outlined what they saw. And for example, the figures that they have put together, I'll read you just a paragraph of their conclusion. It says, given that the official result announced by the Electoral Commission for each candidate falls within their respective PVT estimated confidence ranges, Codeo can confidently confirm that its PVT estimates are consistent with official presidential election results. So I think all other third-party actors who have had the opportunity to follow our process are coming in with their views, and it comes at a time that the president, his ministers and appointees are getting back to work to continue with government business.
Abaino so abo eye nsemshofo abaso ewo abotre a omunya ye se omobeyi ne ekoso ina wo abato no fiti ye start ye akopem se ye bewie ye se ye bebo eye de obedi ye so from 2021 akosi 2024 no omoya de ye pa se omutumi etna honya abotre edi omani edi nsem ni na echi ma eye asumje ene Ghana for na akro ye ene biako ye eba omanyimu.
At this time as well, and before I invite the COVID team, the government of Ghana also wishes to congratulate the Ghanaian media for your role in the coverage of the 2020 parliamentary and presidential elections. We are particularly pleased with the level of professionalism with which the Ghanaian media covered activities before, during, and after the elections. The media, as I'm sure you are aware, plays an indispensable role in the proper functioning of any democracy. And you've been instrumental in assisting with, first, voter education, second, the digestion of manifestos, education on civil rights as a third matter, and then election day developments, as well as reporting on and collation of results yourselves independently. And while we applaud your contributions, we urge that you continue to uphold the excellence with which you have conducted your coverage of the 2020 elections.
Next is COVID-19 no, and the one I been say onya de obeko emom waba oni ye abebo shen waba oni ye abetina se. Next is mekai wo say COVID-19 enkoye na when ye Dr. Patrick Kuma Abwaje oye Director General Ghana Health Service or the abetu just say cases on my recording 52,844 me chim say COVID-19 no amani humani so ye enkoye ntino obo bi akoko wa won se nose mask no she bebi abeko bia no she nose mask hand sanitizer mun use mo ho sa frequently na on nsem no nchiremu etudwa wonra one nsem twofo abodwa a mo cheche nsem
briefly as at 8th of December we have recorded a total of 52,844 cases. About 618,271 tests have been conducted. That's the individual tests. Currently, we have about 897 active cases. We have had 51,620 discharges, which account for 97.7% of all those who had the virus. We have recorded 327 deaths, bringing the case fatality rate as the number of deaths as opposed to those who are infected to 0.61%. It still remains low if you look at the global average. Currently, as we speak now, a total of all 16 regions have had infections before, and of the 260 districts we have, 243 districts in this country have had some infection or the other. But currently, only 67% out of the 260 districts have cases from 13 out of the 30 distinct regions. Majority of the cases are in Greater Accra. They account for about almost 3/4 of all the cases, about 74% of them with Eastern region currently presenting 6.5%, 2.9% in Western, in Volta, and 2.2% in Western region. The rest of the country are reporting relatively very, very low. So Greater Accra is a key hotspot. Of the active cases, you can see that we have Kole, Krote, Accra, Ladikotomo in that order as you go down. So you can see that it's Accra Central area where we're still having the relatively higher figures compared to where we are.
The airport still remains one of the key areas where we are very keen on making sure we are tracking the cases. We have so far tested about 86,768 since the airport was reopened on the 1st of September. We have recorded 391 positives as we speak now, and about 86,377 are negative. Currently, we have, as I mentioned, 391 have been positive, 78 were isolated and de-isolated, which means that they are recovered. We have an active case of 113, which is about 29% of all the total we have had. There has been no reported death from the positive cases from the airport, and currently we are doing contact tracing for about 250 people. These are contacts of the 113 that we have seen, and the contacts include the people who sat in the plane with them, and that we are following up.
Na me ka ha ene de kase boni besi mi amedi kase bo ne ho chia me medi ameje so Priscilla Moore ansa na ye be kon na meka wo se kaseabo no se wo pese wo hu bebre a wo be log on to cmonline.com.gh you see your authentic the authentic online news for such as news that news trodo news ntrobia nim na ye digu ho se mo mbekan anase mo fa moni enkohwe na before ye be ko meka wo se endpoint homeopathy clinic ne Enkechi Health Center na wo si me agongon a me de ne kasebo nso be so mo se CMGH bi kasebo ansa na mekono nsem we na edi kasebo yi mu akotene mampani a wo Nigeria Mahama Buhari e de akosobo de kase ama ye mampani na adodan kwa akufado se wodi nkunim se president a ye yi no obedi year so 2021 to 2024 about commission no so e de e list and I said number of people and I go for we you know so omo beba abese nra e wo ma se be de fie abetuja John Dramani Mahama ye kane ana mampeni dada e magana o de abetuja so no enya de obeji abato commission no results a o de ababontin no onya de obeji atomo ne nya adwen kete when is MP the best song was CMGH TV because na make how say kasebo no obetumi so follow your Facebook CMGH TV YouTube CMGH TV and Instagram so CMGH TV Twitter no at CMGH TV me amene kasebo yi ebra wono media me just wo Priscilla Moore macro